Today on Callahan's Garage, we're going to finish up the air ride install on my buddy's Cadillac. We're going to take all of this air ride stuff and put it in the trunk and make it look nice.
Hey, I'm Callahan. Welcome to Callahan's Garage.
Alright folks, welcome back to Callahan's Garage. My name's Callahan and today we're going to finish up the air ride on my buddy's 1970 Cadillac. So in the last video we installed all the airbags, we did all the modifications we need to do to get this thing laying out on the ground. And today we're going to finish everything up. We're going to build out the whole trunk setup. So let's go take a look at what all we've got to put in there. Alright, so this is everything that we've got to build out into the trunk for our air ride setup. So we've got a basic manual manifold here with a manual controller. So this will be super easy, very user friendly to make on the fly adjustments, to be able to air out at red lights super quick and hop back up to get going again. Very easy, very user friendly. I really like using these as opposed to like a pressure regulated system or a height system. Those are really nice if you want to be able to control it with your phone or it automatically adjust on the highway and stuff. But if you're like me and you're just constantly playing with it anyway, this is definitely the way to go. Then we've got two of these 28-inch seamless tanks. These are super nice. And then two 485 air compressors and then everything to hook it all up. So we're going to figure out how to make all this work in there and keep it looking really nice and neat. Alright, so in the last video, like I said, we got all of our airbags, all of our brackets and everything finally installed. We've got our 4 air lines run into the trunk here. So we're going to start to build out this trunk area and, kind of get a game plan of what we're going to do. So basically what I'm going to do is just build, like a false floor in here, and that'll allow me to hide pretty much everything underneath the floor. All that we're really going to want to see in here is like our tanks or maybe our compressors, over on the sides of the trunk. Everything else we want to be completely hidden. So basically the game plan here is for me to just build this out as like a blank canvas, and then after I get finished with it, the car's going to go back to the upholstery shop and they're going to upholster out the trunk. They're going to put all the music and everything in here and this thing will be good to go. So we're going to get this just nice and neat and clean. That way it's ready to go when it goes to the next phase. All right, so our first step is kind of just build this framework in here. So we've got two 2x6s. Our floor is going to sit down on top of these. So basically we'll have 2 side sections over here. I'll be able to put my compressor underneath the floors over here, so all that we'll see is our tanks on each side. They'll sit on top of the floor. We'll put all of our air ride management and our stereo amplifier back here, and then we'll have all of this covered storage area here in the center. So we'll have this center floor section will lift up and you'll be able to access all this storage underneath here. And you can see I just made a couple simple little brackets where we're bolted down to the floor with some nutserts, bolted through this, so this is nice and solid. We'll be able to mount everything off of this. It's not going to go anywhere. All right, so we got both of our compressors mounted down in here. The next thing, I've gone ahead and I've made me a template for my side floor section over here. So that fits really nice. We're going to get our floor pieces cut out and then we can mount our tanks down. Alright, so as you can see, we got both of our side pieces in here. They fit beautifully. So before I go sticking my tanks in here, I still need to make a couple little tabs and brackets on these to secure these side panels right in place so they don't go anywhere. But then we can start mounting our tanks. Once we get our tanks mounted, we can hook our compressors up. We can start running our manifold and all of our air lines and everything. And then we can start wiring all this up. But I think I'm done for the day, so we'll jump back in this tomorrow. All right, so we got both of our side panels finished up. You see I just made me two simple little brackets here to secure these in place, and then screw me another piece of 2x6 here on the outside to support the weight on the outside of this. So nice and secure, be able to lock this in place, it's not gonna move. So we're gonna throw this in there, and then we'll be able to cut out our centerpiece. So finally done playing carpenter. Though it may not look like I don't like working with wood at all. Much rather be working with metal. But everything's nice and done here. Got us both of these panels done. I ended up making these out of two separate pieces. That way we can just pull this one up, access our storage area. Put me a handy little pull strap on here for the time being. Routed this out some little pockets on top of our bracket, so this all sits, you know, really nice and flush. And for those of you that are really looking, I did leave, you know, pretty sizable gaps around these pieces. But keep in mind, you know, these are going to get upholstered or carpeted down the road. So if we make these fit really nice and tight, they won't fit after the carpet or the upholstery's on there. So let's get the tanks and see how they look in here. So I think that's basically where the tanks are going to go. I think we're going to try to shove them, you know, as far to the side as we can, keep as much room open in the middle here. We may scoot them over a little bit so they're nice and straight and symmetrical in here, but we'll figure that out and we'll get these mounted down. Alright, so we're just about wrapped up with this thing. I got my tanks, both of my tanks finally installed. Everything's all hooked up there. Got my little tray down in here. We've got our air manifold installed. I've got all my air lines hooked up. I've got a bunch of my wiring already pre-run. So really the last thing we got to do is just wire this thing all up. We'll test the whole system, make sure everything's working correctly, and then we'll pretty much be finished. All right, so we're basically finished with the trunk setup here. I got our OEM carpet and I took it and I cut it down so it fits nicely down into our little storage area here. And then we've got our cover here that covers up all of our management and our wiring and our everything. We got all this space left over here. That stays all nice hidden away. We've got all of our wiring runs up and over here, but with the factory wiring loom runs under the seat and into the car, everything's nice and hidden away. So we're pretty much totally wrapped up with the install back here. So now we get to the fun part. I'm gonna hook some power up front. We're gonna fire this thing up, see if everything works, do some testing, make sure everything's functioning the way it's supposed to, and then we'll go take this thing for a test drive. Well, folks, test drive is a grand success. Everything's working flawlessly, goes up and down exactly like we wanted. Rides super low, rides stock, does everything in between. It's right on the money. All right, folks, that's a wrap on the Cadillac. We got all the suspension done. We got everything working flawlessly. It goes up, it goes down, it rides super low. It's absolutely perfect. So I'm going to leave this thing aired up all the way overnight, see if we got any corners that leak down or anything like that. But I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. You know, this thing turned out really good, really pleased with it. My buddy's going to be super stoked on this thing. Can't wait to see him out rolling this thing at all the car shows this summer. So if you didn't see the first video where we did all the suspension install, please go check it out. If you enjoy seeing this stuff, let me know. I've got the hearse air ride we're going to do here soon. So we got more Cadillac stuff coming up. Do me a favor, you know, like and share and comment on this stuff. Help me get some of the traffic up on these Cadillac videos because I'm really into this stuff and I hope that you guys are too. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.